Hey y'all, today we're gonna make some creamy Parmesan chicken pasta. So to start out with, you're gonna take some chicken breasts and trim those up. And then if they're kind of thick, go ahead and slice them long ways to where you end up with some thinner pieces of chicken, because you don't want a huge thick piece of chicken in this. But you know, you can sometimes buy them already thin. So if you have those, that's great. But if you have them thick, just slice them. And this actually started out, I was making Tuscan chicken, but my darn tomatoes, like the little, they're not freeze dried, y'all. What are they called? The dehydrated tomatoes. I opened the bag, a brand new bag, and they were not any good. They had mold on them, y'all. I was so mad. But anyway, I said, here we are, so let's just move on. Let's just move on. We're going to cook something. So this, like I said, it was kind of a happy accident, this little recipe that I came up with on the fly. So if something goes wrong in your kitchen, you just keep going. Throw some stuff you like in a pan and just keep on trucking. So once I got my chicken breast sliced, I went ahead and seasoned it up with some salt, pepper, garlic, onion, and a little paprika. Season it with whatever you want to season it with, okay? So then we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of butter to our pan. Let that melt, and this is what we're going to cook our chicken in. Now, you could definitely cook it in olive oil if you wanted to, or whatever the case is. But like I said, I was doing Tuscan chicken, and the recipe I was using called for butter. So that's how this started out. And so I just rolled with it. You know, you just roll with it, figure it out. But you're going to want to cook your chicken about 4 to 5 minutes on each side. So cook it about 4 to 5 minutes, 4 to 5, not 45, y'all. And then you're going to want to flip that over and then cook it on the other side for another 4 or 5 minutes, just depending on how thick your chicken is. I had one chicken breast that was a little bit thicker than the other 3 pieces I had in there, so it had to cook just a touch longer, but that's okay. Just make sure that the temperature of your chicken is 165 degrees, because you do not want to serve anybody no raw chicken. You know what I'm saying? So once you get your chicken all nice and cooked, you're going to go ahead and remove that. Just put it on a plate and set it over to the side for a minute. And our pan got a lot of stuff on the bottom, so I put a tiny bit of chicken broth in there just to kind of deglaze the bottom of that pan. Then we're going to add our onion over in there. So go ahead and just cook that onion until it's nice and soft. And then you're going to add in about a teaspoon or so of garlic. Now, I didn't have a ton of onion in this, so I didn't add a ton of garlic. But add however much you like. You know what I'm saying? So just go ahead and mix that around for about a minute, 30 seconds or a minute till you get that garlic cooked just a little bit. Then I went ahead and added about 1/3 of a cup of chicken broth to my pan. Again, this kind of deglazes the bottom of your pan. Anything that's stuck down there, it'll get all those yummy bits up off the bottom. And then I just let this cook until most of the chicken broth was kind of gone. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying there? Then I added about 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And you're going to want to just cook this around a little bit. And then I just went ahead and seasoned it with the same stuff that I had put on the chicken breast. Just some garlic, onion, salt, pepper, and a little bit of paprika. Now, somewhere in the video, I cut it out, I guess. I don't know what I did with it. It disappeared. But I did go back and add some Cajun seasoning to this, just some Tony's. And, like I always say, y'all, just taste it as you're cooking it. And if you feel like you need to add a little bit more, add a little bit more. Don't start with a ton of stuff, because you can't take it back out. But just taste it along the way. And if you feel like it needs something, then just go ahead and add it. Now, once I got it to where it was pretty warm, about to a little, a light little simmer, I went ahead and started adding my Parmesan cheese. Now, I added probably a total of about 1.5 cups of Parmesan cheese. But like I said, it started out as Tuscan chicken, and then I ended up having to, figure something else out. And I panicked at first, because I was like, Lord, now what am I going to do? But then I thought, you know what? We'll make it creamy, we'll make it cheesy, and it'll be wonderful. So once your cheese is all nice and melted down into that yummy sauce you made, you're going to go ahead and add in 3 big handfuls of spinach. Now, if you want to trim the stems off, you absolutely can. I don't worry about it. I mean, when you're cooking it down like this, you're not going to really notice it anyway. But again, if you don't like spinach, you don't even have to add it. But I think it adds a little something extra, y'all. And it's good for you, so why not? So I already had some pasta cooked, and you can use whatever kind of pasta you want. I used the penne pasta in this, but you could use rotini, you could use spaghetti noodles or fettuccine, or whatever you have will work perfectly fine. But I used about a half a box. I cooked the whole box, but I only used about half the box in this. And this is what it turned out like, y'all. Let me tell you, you talk about happy accident. Honey, this was some good stuff. Now, I know in the beginning you saw the chicken breast laid across the top, but when I got ready to eat it, I went ahead and just cubed the chicken up and threw it in there and mixed it all in with my pasta, and it was so good, y'all. But anyway, make sure you try this little happy accident I came up with. But that's it for me, y'all. I'll pop another video over here, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.